Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, back with my favorite micro or nano helicopter, the Bade Nano CPS. And of course, this doesn't look much like a Nano CPS anymore. It's got all these option parts on it and a couple more option parts since I last showed it. And you can see right away it's got the 3-blade rotor head from Rakonheli. And that comes as a complete setup with all the hardware and also the 3 rotor blades. So everything you need to install it. And with that, I decided I need a new motor because I figured the stock motor probably wouldn't spin this well enough. The benefit of the 3-blade is more lift and possibly better cyclic response. Plus it just looks cool. I mean, that's part of the reason to do it. But I figured the stock motor would just not spin it well enough and would probably burn out a little faster. So 2 options, brushless system or the coreless motor upgrade from Micromotor Warehouse. And I went with the coreless motor just because it's $8, it's cheaper. It's very easy to install it. It comes with a lead already on it. You just need to change the pinion from the original motor and put it on that Micromotor Warehouse motor and then just pop it in place. So I'm with that one. They say on the website it gives near brushless performance, so we'll see. Although I don't know what the brushless performance is, so I guess I can't compare it, but it gives near brushless performance, and then they say 60% lasts more than 5 hours, which is kind of a funny statistic because it makes me wonder what happens to the other 40%. Do they last less than 10 minutes? I don't know. But anyway, it sounds like it has decent life to it. It's probably going to have less life spinning the 3-bladed rotor head, but worth a try anyway, I figured. And so while I was at it, I got some new batteries for the Nano CPS. These are the MyLipo 205 milliamp single cells from Micromotor Warehouse. And I figured those would be better with the motor upgrade and also the 3-bladed rotor head. So we'll see how all that does. This helicopter is now far removed from stock. The only thing original on it is the 3-in-1 bore, the servos, and the tail motor. Everything else is now an option part. And it's definitely heavier with all these things. So I imagine it's going to fly a little bit different than the original Nano CPS. And we'll see how it does. We'll take it outside and fly it. Well, I've got the Nano CPS outside here. You may be able to tell it's actually been fairly windy. The wind is kind of up and down. I flew it a minute ago in quite a bit of wind, and it was fighting the wind a lot. It goes real fast downwind, and then you have to put the nose down and fight it to get it back. But it does fly well. It tracks really well. It's very smooth. It sounds great, looks good in the air, and I do like the way it flies. Now, it's not quite as punchy as the stock helicopter. The stock helicopter has a little more power to it, punches out a little easier, and is a little more twitchy kind of in a way. This flies a little bigger, a little smoother, and I do like the way it flies. I think, I take the best of both worlds and have this one and also have a stock one, and then trade off flying them. But I do like the way this one flies. With that 205 milliamp single cell pack, you get an easy 4 minutes with it. And I'll go ahead and just put a battery in. We'll fly it around so you guys can see how it does. All right, the wind is down a little bit now, so check this out. I've just put one of the older 150 milliamp batteries in, the E-flite battery. All right, and the wind is back. Wind is back. Let me try and land this thing on the case. That's just pretty lucky. It's gonna have a little tail waggle, and that's the wind just kind of doing that. If there was no wind, it'd be pretty stable. AS3X correcting it. But this guy just tracks really nicely. So it's kind of like a little more of a sport flyer at this point. Very quiet, sounds good. But not quite the same punch as a stock setup, so this is a different flying machine at this point. Stock setup is definitely a little more quick to respond, a little more punchy in a way. The wind's really coming up now, so if I take this downwind, it's going to scoot. So they're just different ways of flying. What I'll do is I'll also just show you some quick hovering when there's no wind, so you can see that it won't have that tail waggle to it. I'll just add that in at the end or something. And I will try this when there's no wind out. And like I said, I think having this one and then keeping one completely stock is kind of the best of both worlds. Fight the wind backwards. But it's handling it. I've got it angled right into the wind there. I know, I'm talking about the wind a lot. So this is 4 minutes now. Still going. Well, you do these option parts, upgrades, mods, whatever you want to call them, for different reasons. Sometimes it's about performance, sometimes appearance, and sometimes just to tear things down and rebuild things, just for the fun of it. But just keep in mind that everything that you do may have a trade-off. You may add weight, or you may take away weight. You may add power, but decrease flight time. And so there's always different things to consider, and it's just fun to try different things. That's what I like about this. This helicopter could probably fly a little bit differently, maybe a little better with some changes, but I do like the way it is now. I like the way it flies. I like the way it looks. And it's just part of the process of just having fun with it. That's what the hobby's about. So that's it, guys. Any questions or comments, please post below. I'll try to answer them. As always, I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.